Hey guys, LevelCap here. Today is Monday, which means it's time for an episode of Loadout, the series where you guys, the viewers, get to pick a gun and customization for me to use. The way you do this is you leave a comment down below letting me know what kind of weapon and accessories you'd like me to run with, and I will pick one of the top rated comments for the next episode. Today's top comment comes from WW. It says, Lone Survivor Seals, MK11 Mod 0 Silencer, ACOG Sight, bipod, canted iron sights, any desert camo, stock M9, any grenade, and SOFLAM. You will remain off the map when you use your rifle. Try to survive in tense situations. Please pick my loadout. I love your content. Well, thank you, sir. And if you've been watching my content for a while now, I believe 9 months ago we did a Lone Survivor loadout. However, that was in Battlefield 3. This is now Battlefield 4. Now, for those of you not familiar with Lone Survivor, it is a book which later became a movie which came out recently, which is why it's gotten a little bit more publicity. But it's a crazy true story about a Navy SEAL over in Afghanistan who went through just an insane battle. And his actual loadout, I believe, was a Mark 12. This is pretty much as close as we can get to it. And obviously, the idea behind this loadout is concealment. If they don't see you on the minimap, they can't return fire. When facing overwhelming odds, your best ally is to actually hide and just not let them know where you are. And although the suppressor is a really nice way to stay off the minimap, it does lower the bullet velocity of this weapon significantly to the point where hitting moving targets is very difficult, and hitting long range targets requires you to aim significantly above your target. So it does take a little while to get used to this. The hard thing about using suppressed DMRs is that you really have to know what your bullet velocity is and practice with it, figuring out how far you have to lead depending on the distance of your target. And as you can see, I am missing a lot of shots when players are in motion just because I'm still trying to figure out the lead distance. Now, as I play, I'm always trying to take advantage of the high ground here. It's kind of the #1 rule in pretty much any game. You know, if you're above your opponent, you have the benefit. The irony of this is that in Marcus Luttrell's unfortunate situation, they had the low ground pretty much during the entire engagement, which is why it was such a brutal engagement for them. And just watching this footage back here of using DMRs, it does remind me just how awkward DMRs feel in this game. There's nothing that I really particularly like about them, just because it doesn't feel like half your shots are registering or they're going on target. The maximum damage, in my opinion, is way too low. I never feel like these weapons were balanced properly to provide a 2-shot kill in close quarters. These guns require 3 shots to take down your opponent, provided that you're doing a body shot at pretty much any range, and to me that seems way imbalanced for any sort of close quarter engagement. Basically, your opponent has plenty of time to take you out if you need to shoot him 3 times in close quarters with a semi-auto weapon. Go up against anything with full auto and you are basically going to lose that fight. So in order to take advantage of this, I forced myself into rush game situations, which allowed me to either play on defense or offense. When I'm playing offense, I sort of stayed in the back and supported my teammates, and when playing defense, I really just got up there on the front lines and shot at anything as soon as it came into range. This was the most effective way to use this weapon, but then again, the suppressor, just at range, makes it such a hard gun to use. So it's sort of a predicament here. You've got a suppressor which conceals you on the minimap, but at super long range, your concealment isn't going to be that big of a deal anyway, so the gun becomes very ineffective at long range and conceals you at short range. It's kind of not benefiting itself. I feel like suppressors on DMRs are just a bad combo in general because they shouldn't be used for close quarter combat, and that's the only way that suppressors actually benefit the weapon. It would be kind of neat if Battlefield gave users the option to choose between subsonic and normal ammunition when equipping a suppressor, and the suppressor in that case would just lower the decibel level of whatever kind of ammo you picked. But alas, I've done several videos talking about the problem with DMRs in Battlefield 4 and why they're just generally not very effective weapons regardless of what attachments you put on them. Let's talk about some of the good things that the Mark 11 does. It has an incredibly fast reload of 1.85 seconds, so you got 20 rounds and then a crazy fast reload. You really shouldn't be caught in a situation where you're out of ammo. Provided that you actually hit all your targets, this one mag can deal with a good number of players. The problem is that the damage output on this gun is so low that most people you run into are going to have plenty of of time to deal with you before you can deal with them. So multiple target acquisition is only possible when your opponents don't actually return fire and you're being stealthy, hence the suppressor. Generally speaking, the bullet velocity is pretty good at 550 meters per second. Of course, we don't see the benefits of that here with the suppressor, but the accuracy combined with this weapon is going to make it very good for trying to pinpoint long range targets and getting some good headshots while you're at it. And check this out, I actually use the SOFLAM, laser designate the attack bow, and I get some laser designated missile hits, and then eventually a laser designated destroy on it. So wasn't expecting to actually get one of those while playing, as it seems oh so rare that anybody SOFLAMs and does rocket combos these days. For some reason it was very popular in Battlefield 3, but just not as many uses to use it now in Battlefield 4. And now we've got the enemy team spawn locked, we've got a great defensive perimeter, and they've pretty much lost all of their coordination. The best chance of the enemy team actually getting the MCOMs in this map is at the very start when everybody spawns in and they get all their vehicles at the same time. This is actually something that Hardline does very well, because rather than having the round start where some people load in and there's like 5 guys defending on a team of 32 and it just takes a while for the other 32 guys to load in, Hardline actually has a waiting time while a bunch of teammates have to actually check that they're ready, and then when the round starts there's actually 10 to 15 guys ready to go right off the bat, and you get a much more interesting first time engagement. And I don't know why this has never really been done in Battlefield games, but it's certainly something very simple that has actually made a very big impact. And I think that there's a lot of changes that can be made to the Battlefield series that sort of fall in line with very simple to implement, very big impacts. So overall, the Mark 11 Mod 0 is a very basic DMR, not bad at anything, not a master of anything. Overall, I can't stand DMRs, especially a suppressed DMR. It's a nightmare trying to work with these guns. But if you're gonna use it and you're gonna try and be effective, camp. Get it good tactical advantages on your opponent, height advantage, play defensively on rush games, and you can potentially do well. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave your comments for next week's episode, and I'll see you next time. This is LevelCap signing off.